A little bit bigger, a little bit longer than the capsule they've been using for cargo. So how will it react and act in re-entry? Another big test for this capsule. David Curley, ABC News, Kennedy Space Center.
President Trump's talks with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un causing the parents of the American college student who died in 2007 after being imprisoned by the Kim regime to speak out.
Fred and Cindy Warmbier declaring in an extraordinary statement, "We have been respectful during this summit process. Now we must speak out." And without mentioning the president, they rebuked him for his bromance with the dictator.
He likes me, I like him.
Kim and his evil regime are responsible for unimaginable cruelty and inhumanity, the Warmbiers said. No excuses or lavish praise can change that.
ABC's Terry Moran. Police in Florida have found the van believed to have caused a dramatic hit-and-run accident in Sarasota Thursday. That crash caught on video and has gone viral, sent one car tumbling. The teenage driver is now in critical condition. His father, Mike Kelly, is asking for the public's help to find the driver that caused the crash. You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Results not typical. Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in personal or business taxes and you can't afford to pay? You have the right to negotiate. Has the IRS threatened to shut down your business, freeze your bank accounts, take your home, your cars, or garnish your wages? You may qualify for special programs to stop this process. Call Fox Tax at 800-610-7740. That's 800-610-7740, or just call 800-610-7740.
Major League Baseball says it's launching an investigation into an incident between the CEO of the San Francisco Giants and his wife. The two were caught on camera in a public argument that turned physical. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Los Angeles with what the couple is now saying.
And MLB says the organization is gathering more information about this incident. And overnight, Pam Bear released a statement to ESPN to clarify what happened, saying she'd taken her husband's cell phone and was refusing to return it. She backs up her husband's statement about a foot injury causing her to lose her balance, adding, "Larry and I have always been and still are happily married."
The latest winter blast is barreling across the Northeast, creating travel problems from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts. Boston bracing for up to a half a foot of snow. It's the second snowstorm to hit the Northeast this week. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano is in New York's Central Park.
Heavy snow coming down as this late winter blast hits the Northeast. Millions from Philly to Boston and the bullseye. In New York, snow piling up, at least 4 inches expected here. The Midwest also dealing with a blast of winter, creating dangerous conditions on the roads. In Minnesota, reports of more than 300 crashes. Vehicles left abandoned after they spun out onto the side of I-94.
A third storm now moving into the Midwest is expected to hit Sunday. This is ABC News.
It's time. Time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
ABC News this hour is sponsored by the Woodland Bank.
Today, we're talking with
Andy Klocko.
And I'm Tasha Klocko.
We own and operate Klocko Brewing Company. We, first and foremost, brew beer.
The Klockow's are customers of Woodland Bank.
Woodland, to us, came very highly recommended from multiple people in the community and kind of hit it off with everyone right away and sort of felt like the right thing.
They said choosing to do business in Grand Rapids was an easy choice.
I'm originally from Grand Rapids. born and raised. And when we decided to start our family, every time we talked about opening a brewery, we always would say, oh, well, Grand Rapids doesn't have one yet.
The Clock Owls use multiple services at Woodland Bank.
We use business checking, loan services, SASA, and the Saver account. Brian's kind of made it clear that's a partnership from the beginning. First meet up with him and Wayne, it was just very, very clear that, hey, this is an open and honest thing. We want to help you because if you succeed, we succeed.
Woodland Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
That's the Woodland way.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. A wind chill advisory begins at midnight tonight and continues until noon tomorrow. A few flurries possible at times today, otherwise cloudy skies. High temperatures reach up to 10 above, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 18 below. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Overcast skies tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 1 above. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 8 below.
It's time for the Sports Issue on 1320 KOZY and KOZYRadio.com.
Three-pointer up and down. Another one for Alexis Cash.
Haley able to track it down. Brianna puts up a shot. Mid-range jumper won't fall. Rebound by Natalie Haley. Left alone in the far corner. Three-pointer. Nothing but net.
The Sports Issue is brought to you by Woodland Bank, Donlinger Ford, Super One Foods, and Anderson Glass.
Berglund pretends she's going to take a three. Instead, she'll drive, put it up. No. Rebound back at all. Lays it home.
Now it's going to come out. Elich across the red line into the blue line. Drives the net. Takes a shot. Blocked with Dante Lawson off the shot. Rebounded. Dante Lawson. Win. They're going to the state tournament. Greenway 3, Hermantown 2.
The Sports Issue starts now on 1320 KOZY. And a very good Saturday morning to you and yours. Welcome to the Sports Issue here on your sports leader, 1320 KOZY. Our first Saturday in March. Joe Gigliotti, along with Sheldon Willis, a good day.
Good day to you.
And how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
It's been a busy week, and next week promises to be even busier.
I was thinking on my way here this morning about summertime and how this show can be very quiet with not a lot going on. This is kind of the opposite time.
Yes, it is.
Everything
yes,
is happening.
And you have someone on the line who knows what's happening.
I do. His name is John Nalen, and he is covering state wrestling for us in St. Paul. Good morning, John.
Good morning. I like to pretend I know what's going on. That's true.
And I know you've covered a lot of wrestling tournaments down through the years, John. Worst snowstorm you've seen during a wrestling tournament?
I was inside all day, so I'm not really sure. When I woke up at my Airbnb, everything looked good. And when I stepped off the bus at the end of the day, I stepped into about 6 inches of snow. So I don't know. I survived, but I had to move my car about 3 times. They take their snow emergencies pretty seriously down here.
Well, certainly. Well, we do kind of in Grand Rapids as well. Let's talk a little bit about some of the wrestling results. We've got one more day in the individual tournament, but Kellen Schauer is still alive. He's Final Four.
Absolutely. We've got 3 more going today. Kellen made it into the semifinals, so he'll have a match this morning. And then if he wins that match, he'll be wrestling for a state title later tonight.
And I know his first match was fairly convincing, and the second one was a nail-biter.
Absolutely. It was that first one, yeah, he looked really good. Jumped right out, looked aggressive, wrestled well. The next match, it was kind of interesting. I would say it wasn't really Kellen's fault. He was wrestling a kid named Sean Hawk from New Ulm, and he's a good wrestler, but I think he knew he was overmatched in Kellen. He basically spent the whole match backing up, and Kellen tried to engage him a number of times, and they'd end up off the mat over and over again. And fortunately, the referee realized that, because in wrestling, you're not allowed to do that. You need to step into the center of the circle and engage right there in the center. You can't just be backing up. So Kellen ended up getting a bonus point for his opponent backing up all the time, and that was the difference in the match.
And sometimes maybe that call can be a little controversial in a wrestling match. You felt this one was certainly well-deserved, the stalling call.
Absolutely, yeah, that can be a controversial call, especially when you get down to the last 10, 11 seconds of the match. But I was sitting pretty close, and one telling part was that the coaches from New Ulm, they didn't get upset at all. In fact, they started yelling, well, not yelling, but they started encouraging their guy. Yeah, he's right. You need to get in there. So I think everybody pretty much agreed with it.
And Trey Fairbanks from Deer River, who I know had a very dominating first-round win, just a heart-wrenching loss in round 2, from what I understand.
Yeah, it was a tricky one. Yeah, Trey wrestled just incredibly well in that first round. He went out against just a really good opponent and just manhandled him. But yeah, that second match, he was up against a kid named Tegan Miller from Wabasha Kellogg, and it was a nail biter right down to the end. Trey is such a good wrestler, and he's just a fighter. He's the type of kid who won't give up. He's throwing cradles from everywhere. He's just super aggressive, and I think he had a really good comeback attempt going on, but it just came up a little short in the end.
So we mentioned Kellen wrestling in the semifinals, and a couple more wrestlers still going today. Who else is going, and what's their position?
Trey Fairbanks is still in action today. He's going to start off in what they call the consolation quarterfinal match. But basically what that is tonight, or this morning, it'll be the first matches that they wrestle, is that it's the blood round, we like to call it in wrestling. It's placing round. If he wins his match this morning, he's going to be on the podium, place top 6, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. So it's kind of a high-pressure, intense round. The other person from the area there is going to be Cole Flatt. He's also in that same consolation blood round match today. So those are the 3 wrestlers in action today. Kellen with the chance for the championship, and Trey and Cole match this morning to play. And then if they win that match, then they'll have 2 more matches later in the day to determine where between 3rd and 6th they end up.
Okay, you answered my last question. If you're in the consolation, how high can you place? And you just answered that. And I know we concentrate on the Greenway, Nashua, Keewatin, Grand Rapids, and Deer River wrestlers. I know there were some Hibbing wrestlers there. Has there been some good showings from other Northland wrestlers?
Yeah, I think some of the Hibbing kids, a lot of times they were just wrestling the same time some of our kids did, and I haven't gotten a complete chance, to see them, but they're in pretty good shape. They sent 4 kids down, and 3 of them are still in action for a chance to place today. Francis Pinfinger, David Platt, and Zach Newman all have a chance to get in and play. So for Hibbing, that's an awfully good showing.
Well, I know I was there for the team part of the wrestling state last year with you for the first time. What a fun spectacle! People rave about the hockey tournament, which is quite a spectacle. The wrestling tournament takes a backseat to no one. It's quite a thing there at the X.
It really is fun, and the reason they have it at the Xcel Energy Center is it's pretty much the only place that can hold that many people. There's usually 10,000, 12,000 people there, but one of the things that's so fun about it is all the people come from different towns, and they've all got their matching shirts on, so they'll just be huge patches of red or yellow or gray off in one area, and they'll sit there for a long time, and then when their wrestlers come up, it just becomes an active and a little bit of a crazy situation. So it's just downright entertaining.
Well, thank you for calling in. Keep your car out of the way of the snow plows and anything else that might damage it, John. And we'll look forward to your reports with the final stuff coming up this afternoon and evening.
All right, and I appreciated getting the chance to hear that recap at the beginning, or replay at the beginning of the Greenway hockey win. That was nice to hear for a second time.
There is only one Tom and Bobby play-by-play color combination in northern Minnesota. There's no doubt.
Yep, I'll listen to Bobby anytime.
Thank you, John.
Thanks. Have a good day, guys.
That's John Nalen covering state wrestling for us from St. Paul, and good to hear from him. Let's see. Coming up on today's show, busy show. We'll have a look at state tournament, section tournament, girls basketball brackets. We have 3 games across our airwaves here today. Also, some boys basketball late regular season scores from last night. We will also chat Minnesota Wild. They'll take on Calgary late tonight. Also, Timberwolves getting set to take on Washington tomorrow. Wolves have dropped their 3 of 4. Also on today's show, we'll be joined in about 15 minutes by Grand Rapids boys basketball as they get set for playoffs. And then at 9:30, the 7A section boys hockey champs, the Greenway Raiders, in studio. Again, that's coming up at about 9:30. Let's take a real quick break. We'll be right back on the Sports Issue on KOZY.
If your windows stick, slip, squeak, or leak, replace them with Andersen windows. With low E-glass, low maintenance exteriors, and rich wood interiors, standard and custom sizes, they can turn simple window replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Andersen window specialist at Andersen Glass, Grand Rapids.
We all need groceries, and when we buy our groceries, we want nothing but the best. That is what you'll find at Super One Foods. Hi, this is Kurt, store manager at Super One North. We take great pride in the fact that we offer nothing but the freshest products in all our departments stocked daily. Come in this week and pick up some Braeburn apples for 99 cents a pound, or how about some Halo Clementines, 3-pound bag, only $3.88. Stop by our meat department, pick up fresh, natural Smithfield assorted pork chops for $1.49 a pound, or Fryer bone-in chicken breasts, 99 cents a pound. Super One Foods, proud to be part of your community.
So some people are asking, what's this warranty for life business? Hey, Max here from Donlier Ford, and here's the deal. We are giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and qualified used vehicles. This means engines, transmissions, transfer cases, all the expensive stuff is covered. Plus, you get roadside assistance for 10 years. We're talking towing, service loaners, jump starts, lockout, gas, battery, water, flat tires, you name it. That's how Donlier's lowers the cost on your next new ride. You always get more for your money at Donlier Ford under the big American flag in Rapids.
Hey, Red Green here. If you've ever wanted to see me live, or see if I still was alive, I'm doing a brand new one-man show, and this could be it. In fact, I'm calling the tour, This Could Be It. Hopefully, I will see you on the road. Meanwhile, keep your stick on the ice.
Handsome and Handy, a Rife Center fundraiser featuring Red Green's This Could Be It tour, Monday, April 8th at the Rife Center in Grand Rapids. Tickets available at rifecenter.org, by phone, or at the Rife box office.
Today we're speaking with...
I'm Sue Harris, and I am owner of Eagle Nest Lodge along with my husband.
Brian Harris.
The Harris are customers of Woodland Bank.
We came to Eagle Nest Lodge in 1995. We've got 14 cabins from 1 to 5 bedrooms in size, and we're on the north shore of Cutfoot Sioux Lake, which is a bay on the northeast corner of Big Winnie.
Brian said Woodland Bank was happy to work with them.
The immediate impression that they wanted to be on our team and work with us and help us to move forward after the recession beat us up a little bit.
The Harris said they would recommend Woodland Bank.
They're the friendliest bank around, willing to take us on when times were kind of tough.
I think everyone we've worked with has been fabulous.
Feel like they want us to succeed.
Woodland Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
That's the Woodland Way.
And welcome back to the Sports Issue here on KOZY and KOZYRadio.com. Joe Gigliotti along with Sheldon Willis. A nice sunny start to our Saturday morning, and we do have a chance of flurries later on with a high near 10. Tonight, partly cloudy, very cold, 18 below. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, very cold, a high of 1. And then Monday, chance of snow showers in the afternoon and a high near 8. Right now, 8 below and sunny. Our time is 8:21. Well, Sheldon, we have girls basketball section playoffs continuing here today. Earlier in the week, it was Deer River and Big Fork girls both advancing in the 7A tournament, and more on that in a moment. For you today, you'll be on the call for Grand Rapids Section 7 3A. They got a first round bye, and they're in action here today.
And with only 7 teams in that section, like you mentioned, they get the first round bye. Takes you right to the semifinals, and also, I don't know, it's been a while since they played, and they're playing a team that can give you some problems. Cloquet's a quick team. The state champion, either 100 or 200 meter runner, Kendra Kelly, as part of that team, gave Rapids a little trouble. First time I did see the first game these two teams played. Second game wasn't quite as close. Grand Rapids beating them twice. They got to do the trifecta, beat them again today.
And let's do that. Grand Rapids taking on Cloquet here this afternoon. Pre-game at about 12:45.
Yep, right about there.
All right, opening tip at 1, and that'll be at Duluth-Denfeld High School. So, unfortunately, no home court for the Rapids playoff opener, but I think they'll take it with that first round bye.
Oh, absolutely.
In Section 7 Single A, 2 games on KMFY today. The first one at 2:30 approximately, as Deer River, the 4 seed, will take on Little Fork Big Falls. They are the 12 seed. And later on, it'll be game in between the two we're covering. MIB will take on Cook County. And the second game we'll be carrying will be Cherry taking on Big Fork. That'll be approximately 7:15.
And Little Fork Big Falls getting there with a pretty big upset. That was a 12 over a 5, I believe.
Correct.
As they defeated Floodwood. Stayed close the whole game, got them at the end. And so I would say that probably gives Deer River a little bit, it's like, hey, the next round looks a little easier, but you never know. Little Fork's on a bit of a roll, and Cherry's a tough matchup for Big Fork. That should be a good one. That's Big Fork, the 6 seed, and Cherry, the 3.
And as we've chatted about on this show before, Section 7A, the seeding a little different. They seed everybody 1 through 17.
That's right, and Single A Boys, 7 Single A Boys is going to do that as well for the first time this year. Instead of having subsections, they're going right 1 through 17. I know I asked Coach Marlowe about that before the game that they played against Hill City Northland, and he loves it. He said, that just eliminates if you have more, if the better teams are in the south or in the north, no, just seed them right top to bottom and let them go. He said, unless you're giving out some kind of a subsection championship, why do you do subsections?
And it's a lot easier to cover for us as well.
Plus, I don't misread the brackets on the crossover games anymore.
Yeah, that too. So again, your girls playoff basketball today. Grand Rapids against Cloquet here on the AM at about 12:45, and then on KMFY, Deer River against Little Fork Big Falls at about 2:30, and later on Cherry against Big Fork at about 7:15.
And Tom McBride gets his play-by-play debut over on the Single A games over on KMFY.
I think we changed plans.
Oh, are you doing play-by-play?
I figured with his coaching and playing background, he's kind of got the more analytics part down.
Okay.
And he said, whatever you want to do. So I ran that by him, and I think that's the plan.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Coming up, wanted to hit some boys basketball scores from, actually, backtrack just a second here. A couple boys hockey scores from last night. Matamidi over Totino Grace in the 4 Single A Championship, 5-0. And then Hill Murray and White Bear Lake in a great rivalry matchup there. And White Bear Lake knocks off Hill Murray at Aldrich.
Yeah, and all the complaining that I heard from certain fans south of here about having to play in Duluth for the Section 7 championship, White Bear Lake had to go actually to the home of the Hill Murray Pioneers. It wasn't just close by. It was their home arena, and they knocked them off anyways.
Boys basketball action from last night. Some local scores. Northwoods 87-46 over Deer River. Isle 47-44 over Carleton. It was Moose Lake Willow River 60-35 over Rush City. Mesabi East puts a hurtin' on Cherry 94-30. Duluth East 70-57 over Denfeld. Ely 72-49 defeating Renshaw. Here's a good one. Nashwaukee-Whatton falls to Cromwell Wright 69-50. I misread that score at first. That's why I thought it was 59-50. But anyways, moving right along, we also had Big Fork taking on MIB, the Rangers with the 75-62 win. Esco 86-71 over Virginia. Cloquet defeats Proctor 56-50. And Hibbing 72-57 over Chisago Lakes.
Hibbing has had a really nice season this year, and by the way, Cherry not so nice. They finished the year 0-21.
Oh boy,
It's been a long year at Cherry.
Yeah. Oh hey, at least their girls team,
Girls team did okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be joined by Grand Rapids boys basketball in studio. In fact, they're already here.
They are. If you're on the YouTube video, you can see them.
And they're coming up next as they get set for playoffs. The Sports Issue continues next on KOZY.
Minnesota News Network. I'm Brent Palm. Flu activity in the state showing no signs of slowing down. Minnesota Department of Health's Karen Martin says, in addition to covering your cough and frequently washing your hands.
And even more importantly, if you're sick, try to stay home. Stay home from school or work. I know it's not always easy to do that, but that's really going to, give you some time to rest and protect those around you from getting sick.
Latest weekly report shows there were 167 flu-related hospitalizations last week. There were 24 school outbreaks and 4 in nursing homes. North Dakota man sentenced in federal court in St. Paul to 18 months in prison for threatening to murder a U.S. district judge. Prosecutors say 65-year-old Robert Ivers of West Fargo made statements after the federal judge ruled against him in a civil lawsuit, sending threatening letters and telling 2 attorneys the judge, quote, stole my life from me, and, quote, you don't know the 50 different ways I plan to kill her. This is MNN.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. A wind chill advisory begins at midnight tonight and continues until noon tomorrow. A few flurries possible at times today, otherwise cloudy skies. High temperatures reach up to 10 above, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 18 below. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Overcast skies tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 1 above. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 8 below.
The 3, no. Rebound to the Thunderhawks. Fothergill, he'll launch a 3. No. Rebound, Washington. Washington goes up hard and puts it home. As Skarchek's back in, Winkles launches the three and has it.
5 points for the young Winkles so far. Nice shot.
And the sports issue continues here on 1320 KOZY and KOZYradio.com. Glad to have everybody back just after 8:30. Joe Gigliotti with Sheldon Willis, and we're happy to welcome in Grand Rapids boys basketball to the sports issue.
Yes, we are. And Stacy, you found the right station now.
Yes, I did.
There's another station over where you were at.
Yeah.
And they have nothing to do with one. They had no idea where to put you, right?
No.
Glad you made it here. And also Stacy Washington, Levi Winkles, and assistant coach Scott Bachman. As we talk some basketball action, we were right before we went on the air, we were saying, the QRF, hit refresh. We're waiting for it to come up. It may be the best way to do seedings, but it's sometimes a frustrating way to do it, isn't it?
Well, right. You sit and wait, and nobody really knows the mathematical formula behind it. And like we were talking, coaches and I, we've been sitting all week trying to figure out and anticipate where we might end up. And 1 minute we think we're going to be here, and then the next minute we're like, oh, no, I think we might be here instead. So I just got exhausted with it, and I'm just waiting until sometime this morning to find out exactly where we sit.
I think you're going to be 6.
There's a pretty good chance, probably, yes.
Just looking at it, I don't think that one moves too much. I'm just guessing, and it's been Levi Winkles here as well. The young Levi Winkles. I don't know. Are you a senior this year?
Yeah.
Maybe you just look young. I don't know. That was Tom McBride. And I think that call came when you still had hair. More hair, anyways.
Yeah, I used to have a lot of hair, but there was changes made.
Yeah, I see that. But now it's grown back a little bit. You look like you were, thinking about a transfer to St. Thomas Academy when you first got it cut.
Yeah, well, I just kind of cut it all off, and now it started to make its way back, and then I kind of trimmed it, but it's still there.
So did you guys give him any heat about his haircut before or after, Stacy? Did he get any hassle on the team?
I really didn't, but there's a lot of people on the team that gave him a lot of crap for it. So.
And by the way, if you want to see the smiling faces of the Grand Rapids basketball team, we are on YouTube. So just head over to the Cozy Radio website, and there'll be a link there for the live YouTube video, which, as far as I know, is working. And so I'm glad you're putting your best face forward here this morning. Now, in some ways, Stacy, Grand Rapids basketball, it hasn't been that long since a state tournament run, and certainly a lot of tradition in Grand Rapids basketball. There's been some frustrations this year, I'm sure, with the win totals early on. Now you've got 3 straight wins. Does it feel like the basketball's coming a little more smoothly here in the last week or two?
Yes, of course. I feel like our team is getting better.
Lean right up into the mic there.
Okay,
Good job.
I feel like our team is getting better, teamwork wise, and everybody's getting more involved. So I feel like we have a good chance, and everybody's comfortable and has good positive energy. So I feel like we'll do good. And
Levi, we'll let you talk about your teammate John Sutherland, because he can go, if he has to mismatch, he can go off for a lot of points. Set the Grand Rapids single game scoring record in a game this year.
Yeah. I'd look for him a lot, especially with height mismatches and trying to lob it over and whatnot. And I think our team in general looks for him a lot, and we like to space the floor, and that also gives him more opportunities to score.
So has the offense been a little bit different with someone like Sutherland on the floor? That's a little different than the offense going through Jake Skelly 2 or 3 years ago.
Right. No, he's unique in that he creates a lot of mismatches. He can put the ball on the floor and drive. He's got three-point capabilities. He's got post up. He can run the floor. So he's unique in that respect.
And I've seen some teams really collapse on him and just say, we're going to take John out of the game. Has that been the challenge this year, is when John's not scoring, who does?
Yeah, we try to have other guys step up. Stacy can step up big time.
And then when they all collapse, there's always guys open on the perimeter, and I think all of us can shoot, so we look for that too.
So, Stacy, but the whole, I don't know, the chemistry with you and John, because you're kind of, in most games, you're kind of that number 2 option. Is it tough to know when to take your shot, how to stay smooth in the offense?
Not really, because me and my teammates have been playing for like a long time, so I know when to score and stuff and know when to pass to John. Because most of the time, like even if I do score, like there's always somebody open. So there's like John will always be open. If I drive to the paint, it's gonna be open.
So sometimes it's get the defense to collapse on you and try to create a little more space for John. And I don't know. 2 years. It was 2 years ago with Skelly senior year, right?
Right.
My memory's still right. I used to call that two scores and about 6 shooters on that team, because you had a whole bunch of guys who didn't mind a catch and shoot 3 if they were open.
Right, and we got a little bit of that this year too. Particularly lately, we've been getting more scoring contributions from some other guys. Levi's been stepping up and scoring. David Elias has been stepping up and scoring. Dawson Persons, Easton Fothergill. So these guys are becoming more consistent scorers for us, which has helped our offense a great deal the last couple of weeks.
No, the one difference I see is a lot of guys like to drive this year. 2 years ago, Skelly loved to drive, but Namath, a lot of the guys they just catch, let me shoot the 3. This year, whether it's Easton or Elias or Dawson or you, Levi, you always go to your left, I notice. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, I'm left-handed, so I mean,
it's easier.
A lot of guys, even though they know I'm left-handed, they still, I don't know, can't comprehend it or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I can get to my dominant hand, I'm going to go there every single time, I guess.
Tate Olson over at Northwoods scored a lot of points in single A over a high school career, going to almost exclusively. It's like, someone overplay him to the left, please. But does it change the offense a little bit when so many people like to drive and get close? I mean, I know you'll take the 3, but you like to drive too.
Yeah, I like to drive and set guys up, and a lot of other guys too, because as soon as the defense collapses, there's going to be guys open on the perimeter, or sometimes if they don't collapse, then you can just take it right to the hole.
So is knowing when to stop that drive and dish off, or when to try to take it all the way in, is that some of what you try to figure out here with this offense?
Right, absolutely. We drill it in practice. We watch a lot of game film, and kind of analyze and critique and go over stuff. And that's one part of our game that's also been a lot better over the course of the last couple weeks, is that recognition to hit that jump stop and to kick out, or to hit that jump stop and throw over the top to John or whoever might be posting up. So that's been a work in progress, but it's been a lot better for us lately.
Now, defense-wise, who wants to talk about defense? Who do you coach the defense, Scott, or is that?
We flipped roles this year. I'm
Okay.
doing more of the offensive end, and Coach Elhart is focusing more on the defensive end.
Okay, and that's a change this year. Is you've been a little more on the defensive end before?
Right. Yep. For the last 3 years, I did more on the defensive end, and then this year more on the offensive end.
So how was Coach Elhart done coaching the defense?
Fantastic. I think it was a great change for the program.
You knew he had to say that about the head coach, Stacy, right? Dan's probably listening. You had to do that. No, has it, and you, of course, have been on the varsity for the last 3 years. All the defenses coached this year with Dan taking it over. What has there been any change in that sense?
A little bit. Like, I feel like this year we've done more like zone stuff over the years, because like when Coach Bachman, we did a lot of man stuff, so that's really about it. But
and do you like the zone? Describe some of the zones you're running, and do you enjoy a little bit of difference in the defense at times?
We do like 1-2-2, 3-2. We don't really do 2-3, but like I like the 1-2-2 like Michigan, because it gets me involved in steals and everything. So, yeah.
chatting with Grand Rapids boys basketball here on the Sports Issue. And we'll see, Levi, your favorite game this season and why?
Oh, my favorite game. Oh, well, I don't know. There's a lot of games that I liked, but honestly, I'd say one of them would be the away game in Hermantown. We lost that game actually by a buzzer beater 3, but it felt really good because they were like the 2 seed at the time, and we weren't playing that well in general. And so when we went over there, and we were able to stick right with them all the way till the end until the buzzer beater, I think that helped our team mentality a lot, kind of getting the guys to believe more that, I mean, we can play with anybody in the section.
I was saying, Stacy, your favorite game this season?
Probably the Greenway game because of the atmosphere and everything, and everybody talking about Jason, Dylan, and thinking that most people thought Greenway had the upper hand, but yeah, no.
It wasn't, and I remember the first half. John kind of put his stamp on who was the best player on the basketball floor in the first half that night. And I think you were on the post game interview after that game, Greenway. You get up a little bit to play some of the top players, right?
Yeah.
You took a lot of pride in shutting Dylan down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what does it take to go up against some of the best players in the section and slow them down?
I'm just getting the right mindset before games and just knowing that if you stop them, then your team has a better chance to win. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
Is what one of the, I don't know, feelings of accomplishment when you start seeing the frustration on the face of someone who's used to scoring maybe 25, 30 a game, and you know they're 8 at halftime or 6 at halftime. It's like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it does feel good. Yeah.
And you can see the frustration. So as you look around at the section, and again, we don't know for sure where you're going to come out, although I'm predicting 6 and head back to Hermantown. You've had a couple really close games with Hermantown.
Yeah, we have a couple of 3-point ball games, and so it's a game. If that's where we end up, it's a game that we're comfortable with. We're comfortable against anybody in the section, really. Though right now, I feel like we're playing well enough to compete against anybody and give ourselves a chance here.
And when you say that, as far as rankings, Princeton stands out as they are a significant favorite in Section 7-3A this year. What did you learn when you played them? I know it wasn't a super close game, but what did you learn about their game and their team?
They play fast. They got a lot of shooters. They got a big guy inside too. They play pressure on D. They pressed like mostly the whole game. But I think we could take it to them. Hibbing beat them. Hermantown was close. I mean, we've been really close with Hermantown and stuff, so I think we could do it.
And Hibbing this year, and certainly we're here to talk Grand Rapids basketball, but that's a team that has been as good as they've been in a long time. They've been opening some eyes this year.
Yeah, they're a team on the rise. They got some 9th and 10th graders who have put in some time, and now they're starting to see the rewards of that. And they're a very solid team. So,
and I know Aiden McDonald. We keep having McDonald's coaching and playing and everything else. You played against him, and what is he, an 8th or 9th grader? He's young. 9th grader. Yeah. How good could he be if he ends up being like 6'3" like his dad? What do you think? What's his ceiling, Levi, after playing against him?
He's got a lot of potential for sure. I mean, he handles himself pretty well right now as a 9th grader, and so, I mean, by the senior year with 3 years before that under your belt of just varsity time, I would assume he'd be pretty good.
And Joe asked you about your favorite game this year. What's been the favorite moment on a bus trip that you can share on the air here?
Probably after Duluth-Denfeld, me, John, and Levi and Dawson all sang the whole way back, songs and stuff. So that was probably the best one.
So what kind of songs do they sing, and are they any good?
Of course they're good. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. A lot of like older music, kind of from like like the 2010s roughly.
That is not
There's-
older music. You
Okay.
realize you're on a station that plays the 50s, 60s,
You're
and
right.
70s.
I mean, there was like some like John Mellencamp and like some of that in there, but like 2010s to us is like throwback is what we'd call it. But
I now officially feel really old, Scott.
Yeah, I'm
when
with ya.
2010s are throwbacks.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I still haven't heard them yet, you know. So,
Yeah.
so did, those kinds of things, those sound like fun times on a bus ride.
Yeah, I think they're having fun in the back, and up front we're scheming for the next game. So, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there is fun involved in the bus rides also. Some frustrations and some loudness and some other things also. But yeah.
Have you ever had to quiet them down?
Maybe once or twice. Not the back end though; it's the front end. See, the ninth graders sit near the front, and
Yes.
they've got a few things to learn about bus etiquette, but they're getting there too. They got there too.
Well, that's the perks of being a senior, right? You get all the way to the back of the bus, so you can make as much noise as you did when you were a ninth grader, and the coaches don't care anymore. Is that right? Is that pretty much it?
yeah, I'd say that's right. I'd say we make some noise sometimes, but like we don't create such a mess like the ninth graders do sometimes, and
Well,
then we end up picking it up for them. So
Well, you know, that doesn't sound like the right pecking order, Stacy. The ninth graders should be picking up the seniors' mess, right? They should be the ones doing the extra work like that.
Yes, I agree. I don't think we should pick up any of our mess. I think we should make it worse for them. So.
But that's not going to happen anytime in this lifetime. And how many years have you been part of the coaching staff here at Grand Rapids?
Oh, geez, you're gonna make me think now. I think this is year 11 that I've been here.
Okay. So before those 2010 throwback songs, he was already coaching the team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And is there practice today, Coach?
No, there is no practice today. Girls play at 1, so we figure the guys who want to get over and support the girls will be able to get over and do that, and we'll get back at it again on Monday.
Well, and I do see basketball players, like I see the girls at your games, and I see you guys. How many are going out to Duluth Denfeld today? Levi's going to take that one.
I know I'm going, and Dawson Persons is coming with me and a couple of my other friends. I'm not sure who else is going. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw like John Sutherland over there, or Easton Fothergill, or Stacy, or David Elliott, or Brady, or a couple of those guys.
If you pretty much gone through the whole team now. It is a lot of fun, and of course the girls team getting the number 1 seed. We'll have that game on and talking about it more. But as part of just the whole Grand Rapids sports, do you take some pride, even though it's a different program, in their success, being 3-time defending section champs and so on?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime any of the programs, the wrestling, the hockey team, the baseball team, football team, whatever it is, yeah, absolutely. We're behind and we support and we take pride in the accomplishments that they achieve also.
So do you get any friendly ribbing from the girls team that, hey, we got 18 wins, you guys don't have quite that many, or not really?
Not really. I haven't got any backlash yet from any of the girls. So.
But if they make it to state, they may rub it in?
Yeah, probably. So.
Is that it? If you make it to state, then you got bragging rights?
Yeah, there's not much you can really argue with there. Yeah, I think we'll hear about it, but we'll also be glad for them to make it another year.
And like you said, even though you're not going to have a top 1 or 2 seed this year, is there some confidence going into playoffs with the run of basketball you've been playing?
Oh, absolutely. You said the last couple of weeks we've seen improvements both on the offensive end and the defensive end, and the goal is always to be playing your best basketball near the end of the season, heading into playoffs, and I feel like that's where we're at right now.
And what will be worked on mostly in practice because you've only got, one practice to playoffs now. You say Monday practice, Tuesday playoff start. What will be the emphasis in practice on Tuesday or on Monday?
Right. Well, I mean, it's got to start on the defensive end. Got to get stops. got to defend. It's playoff basketball, and everything's going to be a grind. And so, like I said, we got to get stops, and offensively, we've got to value the basketball. We've got to get good shots every time down and minimize turnovers. I mean, that's the recipe for success for the playoffs.
So, Stacy, as you, and maybe I'll give this to both of you. So you're now staring at your high school career winding down. There's not a lot of games left, no matter how far you go. What does it feel like? Does it feel real that, hey, I'm just about done playing high school basketball?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy just realizing that these last, hopefully, 6 games or maybe 5, that we'll be moving on, and going to college and growing up. So it's pretty crazy.
Well, you can get older and not grow up, Levi. It's all right. I've tried to make a career of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty crazy feeling to know that. Like, I can still remember at the beginning of the season thinking, I got a full season left. And now it's like, you got nothing to lose. You got to win or you're going home.
And what are your guys' college plans? Let's start with Levi.
I don't know for sure where I'm going yet. I kind of narrowed it down to either Mankato or Utah. Kind of a big difference there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've looked at both, and I like them both a lot. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to make that decision yet, but we'll figure it out.
And what do you want? Any idea of a major?
Right now, I'm kind of looking into athletic training or physical therapy.
Stacy, your college plans, and what do you want to do?
Like right now, I'm thinking about going down to Florida to Daytona State, JUCO college, and then maybe transferring to a bigger college, and then like majoring in like athletic training or something to do with sports. So, yeah.
Sounds good. So
going down to a JUCO, hoping to play basketball and then continue that for a few years after as well. And there are junior colleges around here that play basketball.
Yeah.
I was just mentioning that in case you hadn't noted. No, I'm giving you a hard time, Stacy. And I was going to follow up when I asked how long you've been coaching. What are some of the best memories of 10, 11 years of coaching?
Oh boy, we've had a lot of success. Been to about 7 state tournaments since I've been here, and that's great. But probably above all, it's working with the student athletes that I get to work with on a daily basis, like Levi and Stacy we have here today, and countless others. I mean, you can't beat that. The relationships that you build over the course of time.
And do you find kids coming back to the area, whether it's on a summer visit or moving back after college, that you're able to stay in touch with some players that have graduated a number of years ago and still have some friendships, relationships there?
Yeah, a lot of the guys come back still, and you'll see them. They come to games. We have the alumni game during the course of the season. A lot of guys come back for that. A lot of guys will pop back in for practice every now and again when they're. So there's a lot of pride there also that they come back and they're still interested in how the newer teams are doing and how the guys are doing, and they like to come back and visit.
So any alumni that have joined you for practice this year?
Jake Skelly, Jack Namas, and Isaac Brown.
Okay. Yeah, and over the course of your 3 years of varsity play, the best alumni that you've had to practice against?
I would say probably Jake Skelly. Yeah. During the alumni game, it was probably like Jared Sutherland. And Eric Stark, so yeah.
Yeah, I hear those names from right before I got here, and Jake always. It doesn't matter, right? Jake always goes 100 miles an hour. It doesn't matter if it's an alumni game or I'm sure if it's a pickup game at a outdoor court in the summer, he's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what made him a special player. I mean, no matter where, flip flops on, tennies on, whatever, he's ready to go anytime.
And he was a lot of fun to watch. This year's team has been fun to watch. I'm going to say in stretches. There's the goal is to put some of those fun stretches of basketball into full games here as playoffs here, right, Levi?
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like we're starting to do that right now. These last 3 games that we've been playing really well, and I feel like we're really confident going into the playoffs, playing some good basketball.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys playoff opener on Tuesday night, wherever it happens to be. I'm still hitting refresh, hadn't come up yet.
All right.
We may have it by the time we go off the air here.
Perhaps. All right, sounds good.
For sure, we'll have it on our broadcast when we're doing Grand Rapids girls basketball this afternoon. Those seedings will be final, and we'll have those on the air. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Levi Winkle, Stacy Washington, and assistant coach Scott Bachman with Grand Rapids boys basketball as they get set for playoffs starting on Tuesday. We will take a timeout. We have ABC News on the way at 9. Get you a check on your forecast. Also, we'll chat Wild, Wolves, Gophers, and more. Also, Greenway Boys Hockey, the 7A champs in studio at 9:30. The Sports Issue, hour number 2, coming up on KOZY.
So some people are asking, what's this warranty for life business? Hey, Max here from Donlier Ford, and here's the deal. We are giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and qualified used vehicles. This means engines, transmissions, transfer cases, all the expensive stuff is covered. Plus, you get roadside assistance for 10 years. We're talking towing, service loaners, jump starts, lockout, gas, battery, water, flat tires, you name it. That's how Donlier's lowers the cost on your next new ride. You always get more for your money at Donlier Ford under the big American flag in Rapids.
Save this week at Super One Liquor. Get Pabst Blue Ribbon 24-pack cans, only $13.97. Svedka Vodka 1.75 liters, just $14.97. Kokanee Beer 12-pack bottles, just $12.97. And Woodbridge Wines 750 milliliters, 3 for $9.97. You'll find these savings and more at Super One Liquor, Grand Rapids, Hibbing, and Virginia.
Hey, Red Green here. If you've ever wanted to see me live, or see if I still was alive, I'm doing a brand new one-man show, and this could be it. In fact, I'm calling the tour, This Could Be It. Hopefully, I will see you on the road. Meanwhile, keep your stick on the ice.
Handsome and Handy, a Rife Center fundraiser featuring Red Green's This Could Be It tour, Monday, April 8th at the Rife Center in Grand Rapids. Tickets available at rifecenter.org, by phone, or at the Rife box office.
Alexa, play KOZY Radio.
Started playing KOZY Radio.
Hi, this is Jim Lamke, General Manager for KOZY. Not only can you listen to your favorite radio station over the air, but you can also listen on your desktop or laptop, Paul Bunyan television, your mobile app, and now your smart speaker. Alexa, play KOZY Radio.
It's time for the Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by Hibbing Chrysler Center.
So you're ready to buy a new car, but where do you go with so many dealerships out there? With all the stress life deals you, the last thing you want is more stress when you're ready to purchase that special car. Where do I go? Who can I trust? Where can I get the best deal? Well, at Hibbing Chrysler Center, you'll come into an environment that will be stress-free. The salespeople at the Hibbing Chrysler Center are knowledgeable and helpful without the hassle or pressure. They believe honesty and integrity are what buyers want. You're sure to find the perfect vehicle on their huge lot, but if by chance they don't have what you're looking for, they'll get it for you. At the Hibbing Chrysler Center, you'll get straight talk without double talk. You deserve the best treatment, the best deal, and a pleasant buying experience. Give the Hibbing Chrysler Center a chance to show you just how pleasant and stress-free buying your next vehicle can be. Hibbing Chrysler Center, on the Beltline in Hibbing.
With today's Car Care Tip, I'm Tim Edwards. It can be frustrating when you're in traffic with a bunch of large trucks, but it's important to remember about 1 in 10 highway deaths occurs in a crash involving a large truck, and about 85% of those victims are in the passenger vehicle. There's a couple more safety tips when you find yourself driving around large trucks. Never cut in front of the trucks. Loaded trucks need 20 to 40% more distance than cars to stop. They need even more room to stop in wet or slippery conditions. So be sure to leave plenty of buffer room and use your turn signal when changing lanes in front of a truck. Never cut in front of a truck. And stay far behind large trucks. You never know if a truck's load is secured, and it's not uncommon for debris to fly off a truck and hit your car. That's why some signs on the rear of trucks caution motorists to drive a minimum number of feet behind the truck. That's today's Car Care Tip. I'm Tim Edwards.
The Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by the Hibbing Chrysler Center. Listen for the Car Care Tip of the Day, 8:50 a.m. on 1320 KOZY.
1320 KOZY Grand Rapids. Locally owned, locally operated.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump tweeting Friday following remarks about Otto Warmbier, saying he didn't believe North Korean leader Kim Jong-un knew about the abuse Warmbier endured while imprisoned in the dictator's country. The American college student died in 2017, just days after being returned to the U.S. in a coma. In a statement, Fred and Cindy Warmbier say Kim and his evil regime are responsible for their son's death. More from ABC senior national correspondent Terry Moran at the White House.
President Trump has gushed about Kim Jong-un in a way he hasn't with any other world leader. He said literally, quote, "We fell in love," and he's praised him as a visionary leader, but he's insisting that does not change his relationship with Warmbiers. He praised them and tweeted, "I love Otto and think of him often."
Later this morning, President Trump will speak at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference taking place in Maryland. SpaceX's Crew Dragon heading toward the International Space Center following an early morning launch. The capsule, designed to take astronauts into space, in the near future will dock at the ISS on Sunday. It's been 8 years since NASA's manned missions on the Space Shuttle ended. On this demo launch, a test dummy named Ripley is on board. ABC's David Curley was at the Florida's Cape Canaveral along with SpaceX founder Elon Musk.
I asked Musk specifically about how that mannequin test dummy Ripley did in the launch. He said, it was fine, that the data was good. He said it took about 4.5 Gs. We didn't get to see the mannequin during the launch. We're hoping at some point they'll release those pictures. One of the NASA guys spoke up, said, yeah, the mannequin didn't complain. David Curley, ABC News, Kennedy Space Center.
A breakthrough for teachers in Oakland, California. They're slated to go back to the classrooms next week if they approve a tentative agreement reached Friday between the union and school district. It would end a week-long strike and includes a pay raise. You're listening to ABC News.
Did you know that the IRS is getting more aggressive these days and they're using private agencies to track you down? Don't wait. If you owe more than $10,000, take advantage of the Fresh Start Initiative, a program in place that can help you now. You can save thousands and possibly have your taxes forgiven. Call the Fox Tax Helpline now about the Fresh Start program. If you qualify, it'll stop the IRS collection agencies from coming after you within 24 hours. Get the break you deserve and call about the Fresh Start Initiative now. Call the tax hotline now at 800-680-8090. Hurry, or it'll just get worse. Let Fox Tax stop the IRS from targeting you within 24 hours. Call the hotline now at 800-680-8090. That's 800-680-8090. There's help for those of you who owe $10,000 or more, but it's important that you take action before these programs change. Call the special tax hotline now at 800-680-8090. That's 800-680-8090. 800-680-8090.
Crisis averted. A major airline's coming to the rescue of a Texas bridesmaid's SOS on social media. ABC's Todd Ant has details.
Imagine the horror when a Houston woman realized she arrived for a destination wedding in Costa Rica without her bridesmaid's dress. She called her friend Rachel Turner back home.
I got a call from my friend in a panic that she had left her bridesmaid dress at the alterations place.
She tried shipping companies.
They told me the earliest it could get there would be Monday.
And that's when Southwest Airlines' Michelle Reed answered a social media call for help.
One of our core values is to do what's right for the customer, and we like to connect what's important to our customers.
Southwest cleared the way with Costa Rican customs, and yes, the dress made it to the ceremony free of charge. Todd Ant, ABC News.
Major League Baseball now looking into an incident caught on camera involving the CEO of the San Francisco Giants and his wife. The two shown in a public argument that turned physical. The couple is now speaking out.
The president of the Giants for more than a decade telling the San Francisco Chronicle, "My wife and I had an unfortunate public argument related to a family member, and she had an injured foot and she fell off her chair in the course of the argument." The couple later releasing a joint statement saying, "We are deeply embarrassed by the situation and have resolved the issue."
ABC's Marcy Gonzalez, MLB, says it's gathering information on the incident. This is ABC News.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. GoHereNext.com.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. A wind chill advisory begins at midnight tonight and continues until noon tomorrow. A few flurries possible at times today, otherwise cloudy skies. High temperatures reach up to 10 above, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 18 below. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Overcast skies. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 1 above. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 2 below.
And welcome back to the Sports Issue here on 1320 KOZY and KOZYradio.com, live streaming audio and video. So you can check out everybody's smiling faces. Joe Gigliotti with Sheldon Willis as we kick off our second hour. Thanks again to Grand Rapids Boys Basketball for dropping by here this morning. College hockey action from last night. Golden Gopher men. They've clinched home ice in the opening round of the Big Ten tournament coming up next weekend. And they welcome Arizona State to Mariucci this weekend. Yes, they have a hockey program in Arizona State. A pretty good one, too. They're 21-11-1, but was not a good night for the Sun Devils last night as the Gophers take it to them. 5-1 your final. You said you caught some of the game.
I did catch some of the game, and for the most part, the Gophers just looked like the better team up and down the ice, I thought. Nice goal for Blake McLaughlin to kind of, I don't know, cement the lead, but make it into, I think his was the goal that made it 3-1.
Let's see. McLaughlin made it 2-1.
2-1. Okay, yep. So the go-ahead goal, game-winning goal.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. He now has 2 game-winning goals to his credit. And he had a nice assist on the Sammy Walker first goal as well.
Gophers win 5-1. Arizona State actually jumped out to a 1-0 lead at 3:53 of the first. But later on in the opening period, here is that Walker goal from McLaughlin.
Here's Walker going right in. He scores on a wonderful backhand shot, and it's a tie hockey game. What a great backhander that was.
So we were 1-1 after 1. Shots on goal after the first. 14-5 Minnesota. Second period action. Here is that McLaughlin goal. Kind of an odd bounce, but Blake will take it.
Nanny back for it behind his net after
Give it
the
to Sammy and let him go.
Devils clear. Here comes Sammy once more. Look at him wheel. Across from McLaughlin. He scores! It deflects off a defenseman, changed the speed, and beat the core down low to his right.
Fourth of the year for McLaughlin to go along with 15 assists. McLaughlin from Walker and Nanny. And speaking of Nanny, he would put the Gophers up 3-1 just 40 seconds into the third period.
Gates fakes a shot, then turns into the corner. Gates still with it. It's got a guy breaking. There's a pass, a shot, the score! What a nice setup for Tyler Nanny, breaking in from the right point, and Gates fed him perfect.
Yes, that was tic-tac-toe, and Nanny finished it off. Gophers continuing their onslaught in the third. Rem Pitlick.
Pitlick getting it across. Back to Pitlick going in. He scores! There you go. From the lower edge of the left circle. Quick movement east to west twice, and it's 4-1.
And then later on, after taking a couple hard hits, Brent Gates Jr. puts the icing on the cake with Minnesota's 5th goal.
Sheehy to Pitlick. There's a shot they scored! Gates on a blast of a one-timer. 5-1.
Arizona State got kind of chippy in the third period. They took, 7 straight penalties in the third alone, and 9 overall.
That is not how you get back into a game.
No.
And I know they have a good record, but there just is not supposed to be a hockey team named the Sun Devils, so good they lost.
And they look like they're pretty much a lock for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and they are an independent, right? So it'd be an at-large bid.
Correct.
For them. And I never get all the nuances of the pairwise ratings and so on and so forth in college hockey. You know, I'm sure, way more than me. So where do the Gophers sit? What do they have to do yet to make sure they stamp their ticket?
Probably win the Big Ten tournament.
They have to go all the way.
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I haven't looked too closely at the RPI.
Okay.
Or the pairwise rather lately, but that would be my guess. Yes.
Okay.
So we'll see if they can do it.
But St. Cloud State should get a 1 seed, maybe the overall one. Likely, and UMD possibly another number 1 regional seed.
And other college hockey scores from last night, it was in a game that I know you caught some of as well. North Dakota falls to Colorado College 3-1.
That was still 0-0 when I went to bed. I went to bed after the first. That was a late game.
And Gavin Hain picking up an assist and a 10-minute misconduct in the game.
Yeah, he was sure he was that there was a penalty against Colorado College, taking him hard into the boards behind the net, and made his displeasure felt in a way that the referee was not approving of.
Also, Wisconsin 5-4 in overtime over Michigan. It was Minnesota State 4-1 over Bemidji State. Minnesota Duluth taking down Miami in that matchup there. Hunter Shepard with another win in net. Other action, Notre Dame over Penn State 5-4 in overtime. Ohio State 5-1 over Michigan State. We also had Omaha falling to Denver 4-1. And Alaska Fairbanks defeats Alaska Anchorage 4-0. Feisty game, 42 penalty minutes for Alaska, 59 for Anchorage. And your Anchorage record, 3-27-3. In women's hockey, they are starting the playoffs already. In the WCHA, we had Minnesota Duluth 3-2 over Bemidji State. Ohio State in overtime over Minnesota State 3-2. I believe Minnesota, the Gophers, with a first-round bye after their very good season. Wisconsin, same thing. And there's a look at some college hockey from last night.
There was not much for Minnesota. There was nothing for Minnesota Pro Sports last night, was there?
No. Come to think of it.
No. Well, the Twins.
Yes.
Twins spring training, and they had a 2-out base hit to take the lead, and then go on to a win in a game they trailed for most of the way.
And earlier in the game, Byron Buxton staying hot.
Here's the pitch here. That ball's hit well to left field. Ball might have a chance. And he's going to look up and go. Buxton with a line drive home run. And stay hot. Byron. Twins have tied it up 2-2.
How about this for Buxton? He's now got 11 RBIs through the first 7 games of spring training. And he's just been on a tear. And hopefully, this is a sign of things to come, and sustainably this time.
Yes, and I know they had an interview later in the game with Byron after he'd been taken out of the game, and really concentrating on seeing more pitches during spring training. He's always kind of a grip it and rip it guy. When he sees a fastball, he's going to take a rip at it, and he said, I just want to see more pitches this spring training and have my timing down better. Can't argue with the results so far.
Buxton says he's just trying to stay loose.
I kind of changed my whole approach this offseason. I just told myself, just go out there, be yourself. I play better when I'm myself. I play better when I'm not thinking as much, and that allows me to go out there and have fun. And the more fun I have, the more fun we have, the more better we play. So, it's just one of those things where I'm going to go out there every day. I'm going to treat it like a real game. Play 100% and take every at bat with quality swings. So, I'm not trying to go out there and do too much and worry about working on this and working on that. My mind is pretty clear. I'm just going out there, seeing the ball, and like I said, putting good swings on it.
And Buxton feels like he's better prepared this season.
Earlier in spring, I just told myself to try to see more pitches. The last few years, this offseason, I went back. The last few years, fastball pitches Spring training, you automatically pretty sure they're going to throw fastballs just because they're working on stuff too, and I would swing the bat and didn't get that chance to see off-speed pitches or see enough off-speed pitches in the offseason or even in spring training. So, I'm just kind of allow myself to see those pitches and allow myself to work on driving the ball the other way, work on putting better swings on the ball and being a little bit more consistent.
Big year for Buxton, big year for Miguel Sano as well. This could be a make-or-break year for those gentlemen, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. And Marnie Gellner, by the way, making her play-by-play debut for the Twins, and that was kind of fun. But while that interview with Buxton was going on, where those quotes came from, Boston hit a home run to take the lead, and she said, "Would have you gone after that? Oh, I would have given it a shot." Ball was like 10 feet over the fence. Yeah, good luck, Superman.
And earlier in the week, I heard Dick Bramer on our radio call as well.
Yes.
So some different voices here for the Grapefruit League games. Of course, Corey and Danny will be your primary voices heading into the regular season. By the way, regular season starts in 26 days, and I'm just thinking, man, it's probably going to be quite cold for opening day.
In Minneapolis this year,
Yep.
March 26th, opening day at Target Field. They got 6 more inches of snow yesterday. I right now I'm saying good luck with that.
Yes. Oh,
Unless you
man.
can put a roof over it by then.
Quick, build.
L&M has some of those big blue tarps. We could make something work.
Again, so Twins starting their regular season the final week of March. I have it as the 28th for the opener.
28th? Okay,
28th.
that could be.
Yep, okay.
Sounds
See,
good.
It'll be plenty warm by then.
Oh, yeah. See, those 2 days make all the difference. We'll melt a foot of snow in that time.
And, of course, the big baseball story of the week, Bryce Harper signs with the Philadelphia Phillies, 13 years, $330 million. Your thoughts?
You know what? And I instantly thought about the Minnesota Wild because I believe their contracts with Parisi and Suter were like 15 years, and we're halfway through those contracts. And we've had a good 7-8 year run with Parisi and Suter, and now we're looking and say, we really need these guys for another 7-8 years. I'm sure Philly will be thinking the same thing in that period of time.
And I'm wondering, too, what the heck is Mike Trout going to get when he hits the free agent market? Man, I think he's more valuable than Harper.
Oh, no question. And for Mike Trout, he is so much better. And part of the problem is the team around him hasn't been quite as good. They haven't made the playoffs all the time, and people just take it for granted. But you look at his numbers, and he's kind of lapped the field as far as being an all-around player between his defense, his offense, base running, the whole package. You better have a pretty big piggy bank when his contract comes due.
Listening to MLB writers and analysts this week, sounds like Trout is fairly content in Anaheim. So I don't know that he would be on the move necessarily when he becomes a free agent. But either way, going to be some pretty big dollars.
You think they'll get a hometown discount?
Perhaps.
Ooh.
He seems like a really jolly guy who might do that.
Yeah, maybe. But you got to realize for pro players anywhere at the top of the thing, it really, does 300 million or 320 million or 400 million make a difference in your portfolio? Probably not. But it's that recognition with the dollars that you're the best player in the league that they seem to need.
Exactly right. So we'll look forward to regular season baseball at the end of the month. Shifting to hockey, Minnesota Wild. After dropping 9 of 10, they have now won their last 4. This team makes me seasick.
Fine. We should bring Andy in here because I know he's a hockey fan. I wasn't making him comment on baseball because we're going to be talking Greenway hockey soon. But be honest with me. Did you see this Wild resurgence coming with the trades and so on, the kind of retooling here right before the trade deadline, and all of a sudden they're winning games and winning against some good teams with St. Louis and so on?
Yeah, it's a little weird. I mean, that's kind of probably not how they thought it was going to go, but when that happens, you lose some of your better players. Those other guys kind of band together and say, "Hey, this is our team now." And you're seeing they're playing on the ice. They're scrappy. They're playing good D, and that's what happens.
If Ryan Donato and Kevin Fiala Key playoff run, will Paul Fenton be lauded as a genius already?
Oh yeah, I think so. until next year.
What have you done for me lately?
Exactly. Yeah.
So the Wild try to extend that winning streak to 5 when they take on Calgary on Hockey Night in Canada tonight. Bruce Boudreau on the matchup with the Flames.
Well, we faced an awful lot of teams that have had big winning streaks this year at certain points, and we seem to get them at their hottest. And I think they're second overall in the league right now. So it's obviously it's going to be a tough battle. So I mean, I like the way that we've been playing recently. So it's going to be a great challenge for us.
And Boudreau not surprised that the Flames are first in the Pacific Division.
I thought they had 4 really good defensemen. I mean, the only thing that was ever questioned about Calgary's ability was their goaltending in it, and they've been great the last half of the year. So I think I think they're playing like the team they thought they were going to be last year.
And the Flames have won 7 straight. And part of tonight's pregame festivities will be the retirement of number 12 in Calgary, Jerome Iginla. He was always a Minnesota Wild killer, great captain for the team, and here's Coach Boudreau on Iginla.
Well, I think they'll be saying he was one of the best right wingers in the game. I mean, he's like a Brendan Shanahan in my mind, is that he could do it all. He fought when he had to. He could score. He could skate. He played hard. He took the team on his back. Like, he's the prototypical power forward. And to play as long as he did, as hard as he did, was, it's a great tribute to him. He's a great player, and he was great for hockey, too.
And right now the Wild hold the second wild card spot. Dallas has the first one. Wild and Calgary tonight, 8:45 pregame, 9 o'clock opening faceoff. Teams like Colorado and Arizona hot on the Wild's heels for that second wild card spot.
You got to keep winning. I mean, someone's going to get hot and win this thing. I don't think anyone believes you're going to back into a playoff spot in the West. So got to keep winning. So far, I like what I've seen from Donato. Of course, we haven't seen enough from Fiala to really know what he'll sustain. But Ryan Donato has looked like the real deal and never could really stick in Boston.
NHL scores from last night. Buffalo over Pittsburgh in overtime 4-3. If the playoffs started today, Pittsburgh would not be in the playoffs. Weird. Ooh. Yeah.
Oofta.
Philadelphia 6-3 over the Devils. It was Washington 3-1 over the Islanders. Montreal doubles up the Rangers 4-1. Carolina 5-2 over St. Louis. Big Central Division matchup here. Winnipeg betters Nashville 5-3. Vegas shuts out the Ducks 3-0. And San Jose defeats Colorado 4-3. In the NBA last night, the game of the night without question, Chicago over Atlanta in 4 overtimes, 168-161. That sounds like an all-star game score.
Wow.
Trae Young, a star rookie for Atlanta, 49 points, 16 rebounds, and 8 assists. 8 rebounds, rather. Former Timberwolf Zach LaVine pours in 47 for Chicago.
Of course, he played 2 games.
Oh, yeah. That's right, yeah. Let's see, other scores from last night. Charlotte, 123-112 over Brooklyn. Toronto, 119-117, defeating Portland. Boston 107 over Washington 96. We also had New Orleans 130-116 defeating Phoenix. The Clippers 116-109 over the Kings, and the Milwaukee Bucks stay hot as they defeat the Lakers 131-120. For the Wolves, they have dropped 3 of 4. They'll take on Washington tomorrow. We'll have that game for you here on KOZY 4:30 pregame 5 o'clock tip.
This team seems, and I don't know, stop me if you've heard this other years, they seem so close to being able to beat good teams and stay in the playoff race, but it just doesn't seem to quite be there. Hopefully Covington is back. Maybe that will make the difference to get that over the top.
And right now, the Wolves kind of hovering where they've been, sitting in 11th place in the Western Conference. Got to get to 8 to make the big dance.
And you got to do more than win one, lose one, win one, lose one. They got to go on a run, If you get 11 out of 12, all of a sudden we can talk.
Speaking of going on a run, make sure to join us for Running with the Wolves every Wednesday at about 5:20, 5:25 here on KOZY, your fun weekly chats with Cal Soderquist of the Wolves Radio Network.
Always fun, and of course Kevin Fallness then on Thursdays with our Call of the Wild, and we'll soon be having Tuesday chats about Twins.
Oh
with
my
Chris
goodness!
Atterbury.
Already about that time.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
And also about time next weekend for the NMBA Home and Cabin Show.
And we'll be manning or staffing. We can't be sexist here because we have ladies that will help. We will be staffing a booth over there and having some fun. I think I have the Sunday shift this year.
Do you?
Because I am really planning on being out of town on Saturday. I have no idea why.
Oh, well.
Why would I be out of town Saturday?
Could it have to do with... Could there be some state basketball involved?
No.
Oh.
State hockey.
Oh, yes. Of course. Silly me.
Silly you.
I really hope that... I hope not to see you in town next Saturday.
You won't see me in town, but... but hopefully, yeah. Hopefully. We're all hopeful.
I skipped a week in my quick scheduling there.
Yes. I'm hoping to take the next 2 Saturdays down in Minneapolis, actually. One for boys hockey and one for girls basketball.
And hey, we'll take a quick time out here on the Sports Issue, and we'll come back with Greenway Boys Hockey, Section 7 Single A champions. They're coming up next on KOZY.
If your patio doors stick, squeak, or leak, replace them with Anderson patio doors. Their low E-glass, low-maintenance exteriors, rich wood interiors, and wide range of sizes can turn patio door replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Anderson window specialist at Anderson Glass, Grand Rapids.
So some people are asking, what's this warranty for life business? Hey, Max here from Donlier Ford, and here's the deal. We are giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and qualified used vehicles. This means engines, transmissions, transfer cases, all the expensive stuff is covered. Plus, you get roadside assistance for 10 years. We're talking towing, service loaners, jump starts, lockout, gas, battery, water, flat tires, you name it. That's how Donlier's lowers the cost on your next new ride. You always get more for your money at Donlier Ford under the big American flag in Rapids.
Qualifications and rules apply. Visit Woodland Bank for details.
If going to the bank was more like going out to eat, where would you go? You could try some Mega Bank.
Welcome to Bank. How can we help you?
Yeah, can I get a free checking account?
That's one high-fee checking account. Would you like a credit card with that?
I said free.
Extra fees.
Ugh. Or you could visit a community financial institution.
Welcome. My name is Doug. I'll be taking care of you today. We have a generous selection of free checking varietals. Our Kasasa accounts are some of my personal favorites.
Kasasa?
Kasasa pays you cash rewards for meeting a few easy qualifications. All fee-free, of course.
Yeah, I'll try Kasasa.
Excellent choice.
Get free Kasasa checking and great service at your local community institution. That's KASASA.
Hi, this is Brian Nicholson, president of Woodland Bank. Ask for Kasasa at any Woodland Bank location or go to woodlandbank.com. Woodland Bank, member FDIC.
And now, an ad from Mom.
Save money on car insurance by bundling home and auto with Progressive. And cut. Oh, that was good. So, are there any other things you need me to talk about, or I could do an ad for something I really like lotion? You know, I am just a nut for lotion.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Right now, rejuvenating your bathroom is a pleasure at the Home Depot. Starting with the powerful Waterpik Torrent Shower Head at a new lower price of just $19.98. With 9 spray settings, including a power pulse massage with up to twice the massage force of other spray heads. So treat your bath well, and it'll return the favor. Save on the Waterpik Torrent Shower Head, now during the Winter Kitchen and Bath event, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through March 24th, while supplies last.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. Funerals today for a popular hunting guide who was killed in a freak accident in Rice County during last weekend's blizzard. MNN's Tasha Radel has more.
A Good Samaritan was helping 33-year-old Travis Peener get his truck out of a ditch near Faribault when the tow hitch broke off, flew through Peener's rear windows, and hit him on the back of the head. Peener and his wife started Nomad Adventures and took people from Alaska to New Zealand to hunt everything from turkey to big game. His family is encouraging loved ones, friends, business associates, and others to wear Nomad clothing, camouflage, or something else casual to his funeral today.
And the latest round of winter snow meant a tough commute for many drivers in the state through 9 p.m. Friday. Minnesota State Patrol reported 389 crashes. And one person dead, 2 injured after a shooting late last night in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood in Minneapolis. This is MN.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. A wind chill advisory begins at midnight tonight and continues until noon tomorrow. A few flurries possible at times today, otherwise cloudy skies. High temperatures reach up to 10 above, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 18 below. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Overcast skies tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 1 above. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 2 below.
Back to the point again. Elich over to the other point. Taboyevich shot deflected once. Goal. Yes, tipped in front.
Mitchell Bekic, Brock Trombley, Aaron Elich. Good job, Mitchell Bekic. Nice tip out of the air.
I like a better flow. There's a shot in the goal from the point, I think.
Cameron Lance.
Cameron Lance on the goal.
Assisted by Dante Lawson and Ty Birdsall.
Gives it to the defense. Now Bekic, Viola, goal. Raiders 1-0. First period here coming. Ryla on the goal. Bekic on the helper, probably, right?
Yep, and Birdsall.
He's going to try again. There's Trombley. That's a goal. Lawson to Trombley. 1-0 Greenway Raiders. Now it's going to come out. Elich across the red line into the blue line. Drives the net. Takes a shot. Blocked with Dante Lawson off the shot. Rebounded. Dante Lawson. Raiders win. They're going to the state tournament. Greenway 3. Hermantown 2.
The Section 7A Boys Hockey Champions, the Greenway Raiders. They join us now in studio. Sheldon, take it away.
As only Bobby and Tom can do it, right? Well, I'll have you introduce yourselves as we go around the circle here.
All right. Assistant coach Andy Surdich.
Number 13, Dante Lawson.
Number 10, Cam Lance.
Number 4, Mitchell Vekic.
Number 8, Ben Trombley.
So, when did it sink in that you're going to the state tournament, Dante?
Honestly, around yesterday I started to feel it. We went and read some books to some little kids over in Keewatin Nash Rock Middle School over there for their Dr. Seuss Day, and all the kids there were super excited for us, and that's when it started to really kick in for me.
Can you describe the feeling on the ice when you saw the puck go in double overtime, Cam?
I don't really remember it that much. It's kind of just a crazy feeling. I wasn't on the ice, but I just gotten off, and I was the first one down there, one of the first ones down there, and it's crazy. Like, it doesn't seem real.
And And I'm sure there's a feeling of euphoria or almost blanking out that doesn't seem quite real when it's happening, Mitchell.
Yeah, I remember I was kind of like sitting on the bench and I froze for a little bit and like everyone was like jumping out past me and I was kind of like the last person out of the bench. I kind of just froze there.
And Ben, I guess describe your feelings as well. You had the 2 goals earlier to send that to overtime. What were you thinking as that celebration started?
I was coming down the weak side, and when I saw it hit the netting, I just couldn't believe it. I was so excited.
And it was, I've asked everyone but you because it was your goal, Dante. And that was a quick rebound off of a shot. And watching replays, I was surprised at the angle the rebound came out. Were you a little surprised that it was right there?
Honestly, I think it was just reflexes. I don't think I would have had any time to pick my spot or do anything like that. I just saw it come off and I just hit it, I guess. It was in the air a little bit and I just batted it out of the air and into the net.
Now, what was it? It was the first overtime where you had 2 golden opportunities. Were you feeling snake bit at that point? Because I know you had me off the couch yelling and screaming on the breakaway. It was like, it's over, it's over, it's over. And then it was a great save, actually, on that. Were you feeling a little snake bit and wondering if those were going to come back to haunt you at that point?
Honestly, when I came off the ice, I was pretty mad. I was like, that could have been the only chance I had of the game, and I hope I did not just blow it for the team. And I didn't, I guess.
Oh, and then right after that, you had a one-timer opportunity, right?
Yeah, that was a good save by their goalie. He slid over pretty quick off that one.
I had the same kind of thought as you. I'm like, oh no, that might have been a couple of their best chances right there. Oh no. But hey, great for redemption there.
And Coach Surdich, what was the attitude like with the coaching staff and on the bench as you go into double overtime? And part of me was saying same as last year, but somehow it didn't feel quite the same.
No, it didn't. That thought popped up in our head a couple times, but on the bench, all you're doing is giving these guys encouragement, giving them a pat on the back, keep going, and a game like that, when we have a skilled team like this, we're not too worried all the time.
And I know pretty much 2 lines as you got third period into overtime, Ben, and you guys logged a lot of ice time. Were you starting to feel that as the second overtime hit? And you don't get those TV timeouts as you get to overtime. Did it start to wear on you?
It definitely started to kick in a little bit. Kind of cramping up a little bit and not drinking enough water. It just got to you.
And how do you have to keep the shifts shorter and make sure, can you coast a little bit when you're out there, pick your spots of when you're going to go, or you have to go all the time?
Yeah, I didn't really like to coast because you never know when it might come back to haunt you on like a back check or something. I think we did a good job, though, of keeping the shift short, 30 seconds, something like that.
Now, Cam, on defense, you can coast a few times, right? Don't tell any of your defense coach that, but...
Yeah, I mean, we're always just working hard, I guess. We shouldn't really ever be coasting in a game like that, always just moving your feet and stuff. But, 4D gets a little tiring, so you got to just make it work.
And talk a little bit about, this year there's been some frustrating parts of this year, right? You had some stretches where there were a lot of close games that didn't go your way. How did you battle through that middle part of the season where wins were a little scarce?
I guess our coach is just telling us to keep going, keep battling through it, and all of us sticking together as a family. It really helped throughout the course of the season, through our stretch where we weren't the hottest.
Did you hear it around the community or maybe on Twitter, different places where people, maybe Greenway's not as good as we thought, that type of thing? Do you hear those kind of things as the season is going on?
I think for the most part the community was kind of always behind us. I think everyone knew we were going to, pull out of it and we were going to be there at the end of the year.
And is that how the team approached it as well? Was there ever a lack of confidence team-wise during this season, Cam?
No, not at all. The locker room always kept our heads up. There was never a doubt that we weren't gonna come through at the end of the year. We were always just positive in the locker room, and nobody ever gave up.
Well, and I know I often ask teams toward the end of the year, highlight of the season. I'm not going to bother here because it's so obvious. Was there a low point of the season that you had to fight through?
Definitely. We had like a 7-game losing streak, something like that, plus some injuries that we had to battle through, but came through it, overcame the adversity, and just it helped us to the end of the year.
Was this a tougher coaching job, maybe than Andy, because of, and it was a tougher schedule. I didn't really notice it in the preseason when I looked at it, but then as I kept seeing the teams go, oh, geez, now you're playing them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Now, and it's like, oh, Chaska. Oh, whoever it was. Was it a tougher coaching job this year because of that?
It was. It's human nature to get down on yourself if you lose a couple games. So that's our job to come in, try to get their mindset right, try to get, positive thoughts going. And these guys responded really well. So it was much more difficult, but that's the benefit of playing a harder schedule is what you saw at the end of the year.
So with this coaching staff, is there a good cop, bad cop routine that goes on, and who's who?
Well, I'd say Surtees definitely good cop. He doesn't get worked up too much.
You're the steadying influence?
Yeah, I'm a little bit more calm, I'd say.
But you say scary when he does get worked up?
Yeah, I've seen him get worked up a couple times, and it's like Lurch. They don't usually get worked up, but when they do, it's kind of like wow.
Wow, get out of the way, okay. Is that how you see it? No one's going to tell me who the bad cop is, right?
I always thought he was the bad cop.
Oh, okay.
No, he's definitely there for you when you need him, I guess.
So, as you came into the section playoffs, we've talked about that the losing streak, but then you were playing better hockey as the playoffs started. When you were approaching the section championship game, where was the confidence level at, and where was the mindset of the team at as you got to that championship game?
I think our heads were definitely all there. We knew what we had to do to get the job done, and we took it one game at a time at the beginning of playoffs, and we just kind of went from there, and good things started to happen for us.
Now, Cam, first period of the Hermantown game, you guys got blitzed a little bit. What were you thinking as that first period wound down? Because you'd been outshot and the territorial play was not in your favor at all after a period.
Yeah, for sure. The first period was a little slow, but, we just went back into the locker room after the first period and just, you got to come out faster and stronger than in the first, and we'll have some success in the second.
And was it a case of upping the tempo of your game to match what Hermantown was doing, Mitchell? I don't think they slowed down, did they?
No, I don't think they slowed down. I think we got a little stronger. We got more physical. We were more in their faces. I think we played a lot tougher. After the first period, we went in and we reassessed some things, and I think we came out a lot harder in the second.
Now, and I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit annoyed with some of the TV announcing that went on. Like, hey, Mike, stay over here by Ben. But I thought they made a comment that made sense to me in the overtime was that Hermantown game is built on pace, the rush, and the speed of the game, where yours is based more on puck control and making plays. Were you trying to slow the overall speed of the game down to where you wanted it?
Definitely trying to slow it down, trying to play our game, like make it our game, move the puck, use our skill, and kind of go from there.
No, we mentioned we talked briefly about that breakaway in the first overtime. That breakaway pass is something you guys like to use a lot. Just describe how that play works and how you look, and I think you and I don't know, Ben, who else gets most of those breakaways? Maybe the defenseman can tell me who are you looking for up ice, Cam?
Yeah, I'm mostly Dante, 13. He's always kind of flying a lot. I mean, he's kind of known for that around Greenway, I guess. So you always just come around the net or something.
Shall I be honest? When I was in hockey, we called that cherry picket. You've heard the term, right?
I think I pick my times to go. Otherwise, Clapton gets pretty mad if I just sit up there. But I'd pick my times to go, and I guess it's the right times most of the time. Like in the overtime, made a good pass up the wall to Tristan Birdsall, and then he threw it across ice for me. We kind of read that D who went down, and then I went, caught him off guard, I guess, and then went down. And
so and that's what I see. I'm not trying to pick on you, Dante. But are you always looking for that spot to say, hey, this is a chance I can break out. I may get a lead pass here.
Yeah, I think so. I take advantage of that as much as I can. If I get a scoring chance, I might as well go for it.
Chatting with Greenway Hockey here on the Sports Issue. Coach Surdich, one of the reasons we wanted to have you in, you were part of the 2001 team, last Greenway team to go to state. What kind of advice would you give Greenway here on handling the state tournament?
It's a tough tightrope to walk. You want to have fun. You want to see everything. But at the same time, you have to focus. And sometimes down to St. Paul, it's a little tough. But these guys have shown, great focus all year, so I'm not worried about them one bit.
And it'll be hopefully 3 games in 4 days. Is that ideal, or would you rather just play 3 straight?
No, I think this is good. We come out, we play hard on that Wednesday, and then we get a day of rest and come back. I think that's going to benefit us a lot.
And your favorite memory of taking part at state for Greenway?
I think it was just, the fanfare. I believe it's going to be the same way this year. When we went down there, everybody except the team we were playing was cheering for Greenway. And I think that's going to be the exact same as we go down this year.
And Dante, would you mind sharing the story of your semifinal Saturday before the Denfeld game with us?
I guess I went to the cities Friday night to go because my brother was getting a transplant. They said Friday night, and so I went down there, the whole family, and then they moved it to Saturday morning. So we waited till then and didn't hear anything, and then they set a time for 9 at night, and I was like, well, that's right at the game time. Then my brother told me a few words, select words, probably shouldn't say them. And he told me to go play, so I came back and I met them down at the game, and we played a good game, and then I went right back down for my brother, and I saw him when he woke up.
And how much was that weighing on you during the Denfeld game?
Honestly, it was kind of, I was thinking about it quite a bit in between periods and stuff, but when I was out on the ice, I just knew what I had to do, and I was playing for my brother that night, and I'm pretty sure everybody was, and that helped a lot.
And how's he doing?
He's recovering pretty quick. He's up walking around, and the doctor said he could be leaving today or tomorrow, the hospital.
Will he be able to watch you guys at state?
I'm hoping so.
Awesome, definitely. And by the way, you and Cam, I think you guys are locks for the all-hair team at state.
Yeah, I hope for that.
Pretty confident about that.
Mitchell, you're kind of falling down on the job. You don't have. It's going to be tough to have flow going by Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's got the rat tail.
Yeah, I got this rat tail in the back. I might flash it when
okay.
I skate up.
Because I remember 3 years ago when Rapids went for the first time, and I don't know how long, the talk of making the all-hair team was almost as much as hockey. Is that as big a deal for you guys, or not really? What? Not you, Ben. You don't care.
Not to me, because my long hair is not good. That's for sure. So I'll probably honestly get a haircut, clean up a little bit.
You'll go high and tight.
Yeah.
Well, if you bleach it or something, you still might get mentioned.
Yeah.
No, not happening.
No,
not happening. So you've had this hair cam since I've known you when you were a 9th grader. So it's just part of who you are. You didn't do this just for the state tournament.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it very short at all. So I mean, you can never see my ears. So I don't know. Some people probably don't even know I have ears.
Teachers especially
yeah.
don't know you have ears. Okay.
Yeah, it's always been super long, and it's not just for the tourney. It's just, I got these. The main reason I have long hair is because I got ears that stick out. So,
oh, okay. So
I just kind of like to hide them things. So.
How about you, Dante? No real thought of the hair team. It's just the hair you got.
Yeah, I guess. My dad's always really liked my long hair. He said in high school he had hair down to his back. It's kind of hard to believe it, but I don't know. It just runs in the family.
Yeah, he doesn't anymore. He looks all conservative on us now.
Yeah, I guess.
And by the way, seedings are out, and I saw the phone being passed around. Number 4 seed, Delano, late game. Everyone nods. And you played Delano during the year, right? How many of these teams have you played during the year? We played
St. Cloud.
Yep.
Matamidi, East Grand Forks, Delano.
So you played all the seeded teams.
Yep, and I think that's it.
So why couldn't we get North Branch or something, right? But getting Delano, what do you remember about playing Delano, and what do you know about them?
I didn't play that game.
You didn't play that game. Mitchell, you got to tell me then.
They're a hardworking team. They go really hard, and they're fast. I don't know. I think I remember it was around the Christmas tournament when we played them, and they kind of worked really hard. They were really physical, I think.
You like getting the late game, or would you rather play in the afternoon set? I mean, you're late. It says 8 o'clock. It's never 8. You'd be lucky to be on the ice by 8:45. I know how those go.
It's kind of a both thing, I guess, because it's gonna suck waiting all day long, watching all the other games, TV. If we go there and watch or whatever, we're gonna be anxious to get on the ice. But it's kind of gonna be nice because if you play earlier that day, it's like waiting 2 days before you play the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
So this way you go, and because semifinals, of course, we're not guaranteeing semifinals, but semifinals for single A go in the afternoon. It almost won't feel like a day off, right?
Yeah, for sure.
To be done by 11 o'clock or so on Wednesday night is probably when you'll be done. And just glancing at the seedings, any arguments? I guess I was maybe thinking the first 2 seeds might flip-flop with Cathedral and Matamidi.
Yeah, you could flip-flop those two. The top 4 seeds are all good teams. Delano, they went through their section tournament, I believe, without giving up a goal. So they're a good defensive team. They're hard-nosed. It's going to be a tough matchup, but we've seen all these top-ranked teams. We know what they have, and we're confident.
Well, I know Reed Larson has you picked to win the state title, and he had you over Cathedral in the way the seeding. Although he had you 2 and Cathedral 1, but the way the seedings work out, you can still meet him in the finals and make him a winner, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
What are you most looking forward to for the state tournament experience, or is just trying to go down and soak it in?
I think all the people that are going to be there. I don't know. I think it's just something you always dream of as a kid. You get to go down and you watch, and you look at all those people on the jumbotron when they come up, and you always want to be. Someday you want to be doing that.
Well, did you ever, over the last 3 years, this is the 3rd or 4th year you played Hermantown in the playoffs, have you ever looked at it and said, man, why couldn't we be in one of these other sections where you could get Chisago Lakes in the finals instead of Hermantown?
I mean, I've always liked Hermantown in our section just because making it state makes it that much better and that much better of a feeling.
So it wouldn't have been as special to beat North Branch in a section final as it was to beat Hermantown.
Well, obviously, going to state anytime that you play is going to be special, but just beating the team that I don't think lost to a single A team in a long time, and being able to beat them in the section final is something that nobody will ever forget.
Well, and I think maybe the last 3 or 4 years they have beaten the AA team during the AA champion. Yeah. They've beaten during the season. Yeah. And what they'd gone 9 straight years or 10 straight years, I forget which it was. So
9 straight years.
Between Section 5 and Section 7. How much attention or how much stuff have you gotten statewide? People asking for interviews or people talking statewide because it's such a big story, dethroning this juggernaut of a Hermantown team.
Yeah, I know not just me, but pretty much our whole team and our coaching staff has gotten messages. I know after the game I had 77 messages just when we got off the ice, and it wasn't even just text messages. It was all social media sites. They were all behind us in that one.
And was that the first time in a post-game interview that you've been hugged by the interviewer?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Bobby.
Yeah.
Also, Cam, we should mention, what can you say about your goaltender, Logan Wright? He was fantastic. 48 saves, I believe.
Oh, yeah, the kid was lights out. He played super well that game, and, I mean, that's what we need. I mean, we got to have the trustful goaltender back there, and, we'll do great things.
And is he the goaltender coach, you think, moving forward, heading into state?
Yeah, he'll probably start that game, but we have 2 great goaltenders, so we're gonna just kind of let it play out.
Okay.
And by the way, AA seedings just coming out. Number 1, Edina. Number 2, Blaine. Number 3, Eden Prairie. St. Thomas Academy 4, Duluth East 5, Moorhead, White Bear Lake, and Lakeville South unseeded. I'm sure you follow AA hockey as well. Any thoughts on any of those seedings? You're the one looking at them here, Andy.
Yeah. Well, just we're gonna cheer for our Section 7 brother in Duluth East. Looks like they have
St. Thomas
Academy. So, yeah, that anywhere from the north we're cheering for.
Well, we almost did not get a Northern Minnesota team into the AA tournament. I mean, unless you're going to count Moorhead, I don't count them as Northern Minnesota.
Yeah. Section 7 and 8 are sprinkled with some city teams. So, I hope I don't see the day that a Northern team does not make the state tournament.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long time, and like I said, it could have happened. You guys watched the AA final at all?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the hockey that was played and how that ended?
I feel like it was a really good game all the way through, and then it kind of ended like ours, I guess. I feel like it was a little bit of an upset because Andover had all the talk throughout the year and all the studs or whatever you want to call them, and
Definitely wasn't exciting as our game.
Okay.
Well, it was still overtime, so it has to be exciting. Well, certainly not as exciting as you guys, for sure. Actually, I'll give you something I said comparing the Single A championship and that Double A championship. In the Single A championship, the refs wanted to let you play, and you guys allowed them to do that because the game didn't get super chippy. So do you think about that? If you know the referees are letting it go, not calling a lot of penalties, it's like, let's not make it hard on them? You understand what I'm saying? If you keep pushing it farther and farther, at some point, the referees have to get involved.
I think, you obviously don't want to take a penalty in those types of games, just huge games, a lot on the line. You want to play clean, stay out of the box. You don't want to get scored on the penalty kill.
Well, and it felt like in that AA final that the referees wanted to let them play and the teams didn't allow it to happen. It kept getting chippier and chippier as that third period went along. You said at some point they're going to have to call something.
Yeah, I felt like both teams wanted it just as bad, so it kind of got chippy towards the end a little bit, and Andover took that one in overtime, and then East won it.
Yeah, exactly. But East had taken one late third period. That's how Andover tied it. So, you got
exactly.
Anyways, I'm not throwing refs under the bus. It was just something that seemed different. It's like you guys allowed the referees to stay out of the game, and Andover and Duluth East did not allow that to happen.
Yeah, we play a pretty clean game overall. And you get into that pace where, it's just you're just kind of playing. You're going back and forth. So, that was just fine with me when the refs let us play.
That's what you want down at state too. Let the guys play.
Yeah, I think so. Nobody likes to be on the kill the whole game.
No, exactly right. Now, Cam, you're not the biggest, and we got to quit here because there's always so much fun when we get section champions here. You're certainly not the biggest defenseman out there.
Not by any means.
Not by any means. And talk a little bit about playing physical when you're outsized out there all the time.
Well, obviously not that big. You got to play physical out there to make a presence when you're obviously my size. So, even Benny, he's not the biggest forward, and he's one of the biggest hitters on our team. It's just how you got to play at some point. So,
it's technique too.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of it's like technique too.
Okay. Yep.
Just being a smaller guy, you got to know when to go and how to do it.
But hardest hitter on the team is still Nikolai, probably? No, it's Cam? Okay, we'll let Dante make the call here.
Mitchell?
I fed him into a turnbuckle in captain's practice. So.
I would say Cam.
You're going to go with Cam?
Yeah, I don't know. It hurts when he hits you. He gets really low on you, and then when you get into the boards, I don't know. Something about it. He hurts.
When Nikolai hits, it makes a pretty loud noise, I guess. He puts an impact on them guys. Cam just gets into them, and he makes it look cool. Cam makes it look cool. I think Nikolai makes it hurt a little bit more, though.
Okay. Are you going to be a diplomat when you... You're going to weigh in on this, Ben?
I don't know. No. I'm saying on this one.
Christian.
I think Aaron Elich has actually played a pretty physical game this
Okay.
year. He stepped it up a lot. It's been huge for us.
Well, congratulations. Can't say it often enough. Good luck Wednesday night against Delano, and we'll be there. We'll have it on KMFY. The Tommy and Bobby show will roll along.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That's Greenway Boys Hockey, the Section 7A champs here on the Sports Issue as they get set for state next week. And big thanks to all of our sponsors here today. Woodland Bank, Donlinger Ford, Anderson Glass, and Super One Foods. For Sheldon Willis, I'm Joe Gigliotti. We'll do it all again next Saturday morning from 8 to 10, the Sports Issue on KOZY.
(1320) KOZY Grand Rapids, the news source for the Grand Rapids area.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. 3, 2, 1. SpaceX's Crew Dragon hitching a ride on the Falcon rocket, complete with a life-size dummy astronaut named Ripley and bound for the International Space Station. The joint launch with NASA, a step toward resuming astronaut flights from the U.S. 8 years after the final space shuttle mission. ABC's David Curley was there for the launch in Florida overnight.
It was a thunderous launch right on time.